Eat these 5 nuts to stop nighttime urination. Avoid these 5 before bed. Some of the loneliest hours in life happen between midnight and dawn. When the world is asleep, and you find yourself waking up again and again, rushing to the bathroom in the dark, your feet cold on the floor, your balance shaky, your heart tired. It's not just an inconvenience, it's exhausting. It breaks your sleep, breaks your peace, and slowly chips away at your strength. And yet so many suffer in silence. They assume this is just part of getting old, something they must accept like creaky knees or fading memory. But let me gently tell you something. This does not have to be your normal. You were not created to live in constant interruption, in fear of drinking water or going to bed, unsure of how many times the night will steal your rest. There's a beautiful truth often overlooked. Your body, even now, still listens. It still responds. And even small changes, the size of a handful, can make a mighty difference. Yes, I'm talking about something as simple as ordinary as the nuts you choose to eat. God designed food not only to nourish the body, but to heal it. Each plant, each seed, each nut was made with purpose. Many carrying secrets we're just beginning to understand. Some support the bladder, soothe the nerves, and relax the muscles that keep you running to the bathroom. Others, unfortunately, do the opposite. And in today's message, we're going to walk through both. 5 powerful nuts that help prevent nighttime urination, and 5 that quietly make it worse. This isn't just about science. This is about dignity. It's about rest, and it's about taking back the quiet beauty of your nights. One choice at a time. Let's begin this journey together. Number 1. Eat this nut for peaceful, unbroken sleep. The power of pistachios. There's something tenderly sacred about a full night's sleep. For many older adults, it's a forgotten gift, one that feels just out of reach. But pistachios, humble as they may seem, hold a hidden key to reclaiming that rest. These little green treasures are rich in magnesium, a mineral the body deeply craves, especially as we age. Magnesium helps relax the muscles of the bladder wall and the surrounding pelvic floor, easing the urgency and tension that often jolts you awake. But pistachios go further. They also contain natural melatonin, the very hormone your brain uses to signal that it's time for sleep. Most people don't know this, but pistachios are among the richest plant-based sources of melatonin in the world. That means they're not just helping your bladder calm down, they're helping your brain remember how to rest. When you nourish your body with pistachios, you're not simply feeding it, you're speaking to it. You're whispering to your nervous system, it's okay to let go now. You're safe, you're held. And when your nerves settle, your bladder stops firing false alarms. Your sleep deepens. You begin to trust the night again. Now don't overdo it. Just a small handful in the evening, unsalted and raw if possible, is enough. Too many and the fat content might keep your digestion too active. But in moderation, pistachios become more than a snack. They become a prayer, a way of saying, tonight I choose rest, tonight I choose healing. Number 2. Eat this nut to soothe the urinary tract. The blessing of walnuts. When the bladder is irritated, it doesn't rest, it rebels. Every few hours it panics, it sends signals, it aches. For those of you who feel like your bladder is never truly empty, walnuts may be the ally your body has been praying for. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, the same healthy fats known to calm inflammation throughout the body, including in the bladder and urinary tract. Inflammation is a silent thief. It doesn't always cause pain at first, but it slowly wears down the tissues, making the bladder wall overly sensitive, hyperreactive, and quick to spasm even when there's barely any urine inside. The anti-inflammatory power of walnuts helps reverse that process. They work like gentle hands, soothing the fire inside. More than that, walnuts contain compounds that support kidney health and help regulate fluid balance. When your kidneys are happy, your bladder works more efficiently, and your whole urinary system flows more harmoniously. But here's something deeper. Walnuts also nourish the mind. In biblical tradition, the walnut is a symbol of wisdom. Its shape even resembles the brain. And when you begin choosing foods like this with intention, you're not just feeding your bladder, you're feeding your spirit. You're saying, I honor the temple God gave me. I choose foods that love me back. Try a small handful of raw or lightly roasted walnuts earlier in the day, perhaps with your afternoon tea or a light snack. Let their nourishment run through your bloodstream like grace, quiet, healing, and steady. Let them help you say goodbye to restless nights. Let them help you come home to peace. Number 3. Eat this nut to support prostate health. The healing touch of Brazil nuts. For many older men, nighttime urination isn't just about the bladder, it's about the prostate. As the years go by, the prostate gland can slowly enlarge, pressing against the urethra and making it harder to fully empty the bladder. The result? Constant nighttime trips, an unrelenting cycle of incomplete relief. But there's a powerful nutrient that God placed in nature to support prostate health, and it's found in abundance in Brazil nuts: selenium. Selenium isn't just another mineral. It's a master regulator of hormones, a protector of the cells, and a fierce defender against oxidative stress. For the prostate, selenium acts like a shield, calming inflammation and supporting the body's natural balance. Just one Brazil nut a day. Yes, one is often enough to meet your selenium needs. That's how potent they are. Too much selenium can cause harm. So this isn't about snacking by the handful. This is about mindful nourishment, about letting God's creation work gently and precisely inside you. One Brazil nut each day, taken as part of your morning routine or an afternoon snack, can slowly ease pressure on the prostate and allow the bladder to function with more freedom. This isn't instant, but over time, it's a faithful support, like a friend who walks with you through a hard season, quietly offering strength. Don't underestimate the power of one small nut, faithfully chosen each day. Sometimes, healing comes not in loud miracles, but in quiet consistency. And don't underestimate the power of one small nut, faithfully chosen each day. Number 4. Eat this nut to control blood sugar. The steady strength of almonds. Most people don't realize that nighttime urination can be a symptom of blood sugar imbalance. When blood sugar rises too high, even slightly, it signals the kidneys to flush the excess out. That flush often comes in the middle of the night, waking you with urgency, robbing you of sleep. Almonds are a gift to the aging body, rich in protein, fiber, healthy fats, and magnesium. They help slow down digestion and stabilize blood sugar levels. Instead of quick spikes and crashes, they provide steady energy, and that steadiness shows up in the bladder. When your blood sugar remains balanced, your kidneys don't have to overwork at night. They rest. And because they rest, so can you. Almonds also support nerve health, and this matters more than most people realize. The nerves that control your bladder, those that send signals to hold or release, can become less efficient with age or damage. Magnesium, abundant in almonds, plays a critical role in nerve signaling. With regular intake, you're not just calming blood sugar, you're strengthening the entire network that tells your body when to go and when to wait. Choose unsalted, raw almonds when possible. Small handful in the evening can go a long way, not just for your bladder, but for your peace of mind. Let each bite be a reminder that even now, your body still responds to love, and nourishment is one of the most sacred forms of love you can offer yourself. Number 5. Eat this nut for gentle diuretic balance. The wisdom of pumpkin seeds. Though technically a seed, pumpkin seeds have earned their place among the great healing nuts of nature. And for those who struggle with nighttime urination, they offer something truly special. A gentle, balanced support for the entire urinary system. Pumpkin seeds are packed with zinc, a mineral that plays a vital role in maintaining the strength of the bladder wall and the health of the prostate. For men especially, low zinc levels are often linked to prostate enlargement and inflammation, two major contributors to frequent nighttime bathroom visits. But zinc doesn't just help men, it also strengthens the bladder lining in women, improving tone and reducing overactivity. What makes pumpkin seeds truly unique, however, is their dual action. They offer mild diuretic properties that help the body flush out excess fluid during the day without forcing you to wake up at night. This helps reset your body's natural rhythm. You start eliminating more during the day, and your nights become calmer, quieter, more restful. They also contain tryptophan, a precursor to serotonin and melatonin, which support your body's sleep cycle. That means pumpkin seeds don't just help your bladder, they help your soul rest more deeply. Roasted or raw, a small handful in the afternoon or early evening can work wonders. Let this simple gift of the earth remind you. Your healing doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes the way back to rest is paved with something as small as a seed, chosen with care, consumed with faith, and trusted with hope. Number 6. Avoid this nut that can trigger inflammation. Say no to cashews. Cashews are often praised for their creamy texture and rich flavor, but for those who battle nighttime urination, they may not be as friendly as they seem. While they look innocent, cashews can quietly work against your body's healing, especially if inflammation is already present. Cashews contain compounds known as lectins, which in some people can irritate the lining of the bladder and digestive tract. They're also relatively high in oxalates, which can contribute to kidney stones and bladder irritation, two common culprits behind frequent urges, especially at night. And for anyone already dealing with an overactive bladder, even small irritants can make a big difference. What feels like a healthy snack might be triggering a restless night. You may not notice it right away, but over time the body starts to react. Increased urgency, interrupted sleep, that familiar feeling of being on edge every time you lie down. It's not about fear, it's about wisdom. Cashews aren't evil, but they may not be the right fit for a sensitive system, especially when there are so many other nuts that support healing more directly. Cashews may be better left off your evening plate. Choosing to avoid certain foods is not a punishment. It's an act of love. It's a way of saying, I've learned to listen to my body. I honor what it needs now. That kind of wisdom is hard-earned and holy. And every time you act on it, you draw closer to the rest you've been searching for. Number 7. Avoid this nut that raises blood sugar and stress. Beware of sweetened pecans. Pecans by themselves, raw and unflavored, can be nourishing in moderation. But the kind most people reach for, the ones coated in sugar, roasted in oils, or candied with syrups, those are not just unhelpful, they're quietly harmful, especially for the bladder and your precious hours of nighttime rest. Sweetened pecans may taste comforting, but they wreak havoc on your blood sugar. The added sugars cause your glucose to spike, and with that spike comes a chain reaction. Your body tries to flush the excess sugar out through the kidneys, pulling water with it. That water ends up in the bladder, and the bladder ends up waking you again and again. And then comes the stress. Sugar may give a brief emotional high, but it crashes quickly. That crash stimulates the release of cortisol, your body's stress hormone, which further disrupts your sleep patterns and triggers tension in the muscles of your bladder. It becomes a cycle, one that feels normal after a while, but is quietly stealing your peace. God didn't design your body to be at war with food. He designed food to heal, but processed, sweetened nuts like these have been altered by man, loaded with ingredients your body was never meant to handle, especially not in the fragile balance of later years. So the next time you're tempted by a glossy bag of candied pecans, pause. Look past the sugar and ask, is this going to serve my body or strain it? Your body, your sleep, your spirit, they all deserve better. Choose nourishment over momentary pleasure. Choose rest over regret. Number 8. Avoid this nut that can disrupt hormones. The trap of too many peanuts. Peanuts are everywhere. Cheap, filling, familiar. For many, they're a go-to snack, easy to grab and comforting in their simplicity. But here's something most people don't know. Peanuts are not true nuts. They're legume. And while they offer protein, they also come with a hidden cost, especially when consumed in excess. Peanuts contain phytoestrogens, plant compounds that mimic estrogen in the body. For those with delicate hormone balances, especially aging men or women in menopause, these compounds can throw things off course. Hormonal shifts directly affect the bladder. Too much estrogen-like activity can lead to weakened bladder muscles, disrupted nerve signals, and yes, more nighttime urination. But it's not just the estrogenic effect. Peanuts are also one of the most common nuts to carry mold toxins like aflatoxins, especially when stored in warm, humid environments. These toxins put extra stress on the liver and kidneys, which are already working hard to maintain fluid balance and remove waste. A stressed kidney is a restless kidney, and a restless kidney leads to a restless night. Let's be clear, a few peanuts once in a while won't destroy your health, but making them a daily habit, especially at night, might be quietly undermining the healing you're longing for. You deserve more than convenience. You deserve care. And sometimes that care looks like setting aside what's cheap and easy in favor of what's clean and holy. Your body is still listening. What you feed it is how you speak to it. Speak with love. Number 9. Avoid this nut that burdens the kidneys. Be wary of macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts are often seen as a luxurious, buttery treat, rich, smooth, and indulgent. And while they do have health benefits in certain contexts, they may not be the wisest choice for those struggling with nighttime urination, especially in older age. Why? Because macadamia nuts are extremely high in fat. Now, healthy fats can be good, but when consumed late in the day or in large amounts, these fats can slow down digestion and place extra pressure on the kidneys. For elderly individuals whose kidney function may already be compromised or slowing down with age, that's a risk worth noting. Macadamias are also high in phosphorus, a mineral that in excess can overwork the kidneys and increase the need for urination as the body struggles to regulate it. This can lead to a restless night filled with frequent trips to the bathroom, disrupted dreams, and an unshakable feeling of fatigue the next morning. The problem isn't that macadamia nuts are bad, it's that they're heavy. And your body, especially as it grows older, doesn't always need more richness. It needs more gentleness, more lightness, more foods that flow, rather than weigh you down. So if you love macadamias, save them for rare daytime indulgences, and always in small portions. Don't let a late-night handful rob you of the rest your spirit so desperately craves. Be mindful. Be tender with yourself. Even the smallest change can become a doorway to healing. Number 10. Avoid this nut that can be coated in salt. The risk of salted mixed nuts. Salted mixed nuts might seem harmless, a little snack before bed, a familiar flavor, a comforting crunch. But what's hiding in that handful could be the very reason your nights feel so interrupted, your body so unsettled, your sleep so fragile. Salt is a powerful substance, and in the right amounts, it's essential for life. But too much, especially from processed foods, causes your body to retain water. And what the body retains during the day, it often releases at night. That means more fluid entering your bladder after bedtime, more urgency, more trips to the bathroom, and less deep, healing sleep. What makes it even more dangerous is how subtle it is. You don't always taste the salt, especially when it's baked into flavored mixes, but your kidneys know, your bladder knows, your heart knows. They're doing extra work while you're trying to rest, and that strain adds up. Instead of reaching for those salty snack mixes, filled with artificial flavorings and hidden preservatives, choose simpler options. Unsalted almonds, raw walnuts, pumpkin seeds without the coatings. Let your body breathe. Let it rest. It's not about deprivation. It's about devotion to your health, your peace, your dignity. You are not weak for needing to be careful. You are wise for choosing to be mindful. Honor that wisdom. It will take you far. Conclusion. Choose the path of rest, one nut at a time. There is something holy about sleep. Not just because it restores the body, but because it restores the soul. In those quiet hours of the night, when the world falls silent, and only the beating of your heart and the rise and fall of your breath remain, you are closest to peace. But when that peace is broken again and again by a bladder that won't rest, something sacred is lost. It's not your fault, and you are not alone, but there is hope. Healing doesn't always arrive in the form of a miracle. Sometimes it begins with a single choice, a change in your evening routine, a letting go of old habits, a small bowl of nourishing nuts, carefully chosen, eaten not just with hunger, but with intention and prayer. Eat those pistachios to invite rest. Let the walnuts soothe your system. Let the Brazil nuts heal your hormones. Trust the almonds to steady your sugar. Let pumpkin seeds whisper strength into your bladder. And just as importantly, step away from the nuts that steal from your peace. The sweetened, the salted, the overprocessed, the ones that burden more than bless. This journey is not about perfection. It's about partnership between your choices and your Creator, between your body and your spirit, between what once was and what now can be. You are not too old to change. You are not too far gone to heal. And you are certainly not forgotten. God is still in the details of your life, even the smallest ones, like the nuts you place in your palm. May those small acts of care open the door to deep rest, renewed strength, and the kind of peace that carries you through the night and into every bright new morning ahead.